following review contains profanity, ranting, and a deep hatred for soulless Hollywood adaptations. If you're one of those people who thought Rampage 2018 was pretty fun for what it was, you might want to leave now. Because this isn't just a review, it's a full-blown monster-sized middle finger to one of the most insulting, tone-deaf, creatively bankrupt video game adaptations Hollywood has ever belched into existence. Stripin' motherfuckers. We're going to war.
Let's not sugarcoat this. Video game movies had a long, painful history of failing to understand the source material and face planning harder than a blindfold lemming. And while that hall of shame include gems like House of Dead, Alone in the Dark, and Max Payne, there's a special circle of cinematic hell reserved for Rampage 2018. Why? Because this movie didn't just misunderstand its source material, it actively shat on it, set it on fire, and pissed on the ashes. You think that a video game series about giant mutated humans causing absolute chaos in the most ridiculous way possible would make for an easy, fun adaptation, but...
Hell no! To the no.
That's right, Mr. Bullwinkle. Hollywood had to screw it up. And look, I get it. Some people just want to see The Rock fight monsters and turn their brains off for 2 hours. Fine, enjoy your popcorn. But don't fucking pretend this is a real Rampage adaptation, because it isn't. It's Rampage in name only. A hollow, joyless, wannabe monster movie that misses every single goddamn point the video games ever made. And to be honest, I fucking hate it. Let's break down why this movie completely misses the point of Rampage and why it's one of the most insulting video games adaptations ever made. The Rampage games were never meant to be taken seriously. They were a comedic, satirical parody of classic kaiju and monster movies, embracing absurdity with exaggerated destruction, cartoonish violence, and dark humor. The best part? The monsters weren't just random animals that got big, they were mutated humans! People transforming into grotesque, city-smashing creatures due to the reckless experience of a shady corporation. The games lean into their absurdity with personality-filled monsters, ridiculous transformations, and unapologetic mayhem. But what did the 2018 movie do? They looked at this uniquely fun premise and said, fuck that shit, threw it into a wood chipper and replaced it with The Rock and his monkey fighting big bad CGI animals, the movie. All the satire gone, the absurdity deleted, the fun executed behind Warner Bros. HQ. Had this movie been based on War of the Monsters, maybe I would let that slide, since War of the Monsters actually pays homage to classic kaiju monsters and takes the kaiju stuff a little more seriously. But Rampage Rampage was a parody! Rampage was satire! Kaiju satire! Think Gremlins, but with giant monster movies! Do the satire, please! Remember Murder Drones? Yes, Liam Vicker's masterpiece. They have an evil fictional company called J.C. Jensen.
In space.
Thanks, Uzi. Now back what I was saying. That evil over-the-top corporate deed? That kind of vibe Rampage nails in the games. Rampage has Scumlab, the hilariously corrupt, careless corporation responsible for the monster mutations. These assholes are the real monsters. They turn people into beasts, and the entire game mocked their capital insanity. But in the movie, no Scumlabs! Instead we get Energy, a name that sounds like a knockoff protein powder sold exclusively in gas stations. A boring dime-a-dozen evil biotech company with zero personality. Even worse, they completely removed the idea of mutated humans. The whole dang point of Rampage was that the monsters were originally people. Instead, the movie goes with random animals infected with gene editing serum. Gosh, this is like adapting Dragon Ball without the effing Dragon Balls. Oh, wait. If you're going to make a Rampage movie, you at least need to get the monsters right. Instead, we got some of the most uninspired, watered-down redesigns imaginable. First up is George. At least he's recognizable as a giant ape. But making him a bindo doesn't make him inspiring, it just makes him unappealing. Oh, and giving him a tragic backstory makes him feel like another King Kong clone. The game's George was a chaotic, fun-loving monster. This George reeks and mopes like he's in some sort of Netflix drama. Why in the world is Lizzie a crocodile? She is supposed to be an iguana-like dinosaur, not some standard oversized gator. The entire aesthetic of the game, the monsters are more exaggerated and cartoonish. This version of Lizzie just looks like they wanted to make another crocodile movie again. Also, there's already a crocodile monster in the Rampage games. The crocodile from Rampage Total Destruction. Alright, lastly is Oh no! Wow! What happened to ya? Why are you now a flying squirrel porcupine wolf nightmare? You were just a werewolf monster. And now you got wings, quills, and God knows what else. Why did they make you a rejected Resident Evil concept art? And for the love of God, why are they on all fours? The monsters in the game were typical towering city wreckers. The movie turns them into overgrown zoo animals. And worst part? George, Lizzie, and Ralph get killed off, while the so-called hero Gary Stu, played by The Rock, lives! What?
I'm so unbelievably disappointed right now.
The Rampage games were never about deep human drama. They were about giant mutants wrecking cities and eating people. But instead of embracing that, the movie spends most of its runtime on generic hero number 129, a born scientist with a personality of a steam-cooked vegetable government agents who are somehow even more weaker than the Michael Bay's Transformers military, and a villain CEO with a mask of a wet blanket. If the real Rampage monsters were here, they will eat these cardboard cutouts in the first 10 minutes. But no! Gotta have The Rock get his eyebrow movement.
There's a lot of debris around here.
Oh, boo yourselves! I'm Garrett Bobby Ferguson.
This movie didn't even try to capitalize on its video game roots. The merchandising was dog shit. With a lazy mobile virtual game, a forgettable arcade game that was a rehash of the original first game, but with the wrong monsters. And don't get me started on that terrible toy line. It was nothing but cheap the courts redos. The only good thing that come out of this film was the Armstrong Rampage toy monsters, the t-shirts, and the Funko Pop figures, which actually look like the original Rampage monsters than the movie did. Other video game movies have shown that you can make a faithful adaptation that still appeals to mainstream audience. Like the Detective Pikachu movie, Sonic the Hedgehog, the Mario Brothers movie, Five Nights at Freddy's, Angry Birds movie, and even the Minecraft movie did a better job of respecting its source material than Rampage. So the best way to fix Rampage? Reboot it, this time as an animated movie that actually embraces the ridiculous, over-the-top of the video game. Step 1. Make it fully animated, no live-action nonsense. Step 2. Bring back the mutated humans, and make Stunlabs the villain. And Step 3. Go full tilt on satire and dark humor. Give the monsters voices, personalities, and twisted charm. Picture this. All Monsters Attack meets Wet Hot American Summer. Jay and Silent Bob, but with kaiju smashing skyscrapers. That's what Rampage should have been, not this watered down Hollywood monster flick. The 2018 Rampage movie was an absolute insult to the game series. It strips away everything that made the original special. No mutated humans, no satire, no Scumlabs, some of the worst monster redesigns ever. Instead of honoring what makes Rampage unique, the filmmakers settled for a generic, forgettable Hollywood blockbuster with no identity. For me, this isn't Rampage. It was just another soulless cash grab using a beloved game's name to make a quick buck. And I fucking hate it.